Hi ladies and gents, and welcome back to another video. We appreciate you being with us today. What we are bringing to you today is a pair of vintage Florsheim Imperial wingtips. These were sent in to us by a viewer, and he wants us to just completely refurbish these, and that is what we are going to do today. So as you can see from these are shell Cordovan. There is a white tint all over these shoes, which you may notice, and what that is the natural oils being pushed up to the top of that shell Cordovan, and we are going to completely get rid of all of that, push it back down, shine them up, make the uppers look great. As you can see from the bottoms, these shoes have obviously been resold in the past. These are not the originals. It looks like there's been a half sole done on these, and then they just put a one piece. It looks like these have been resold in the past. This obviously is not the original full sole with all of the tacks on the heel. It looks like a half sole has been done on these in the past somewhere, and then they just put a one piece rubber heel on the back. We are going to get rid of all of that, and this gentleman wants us to do Dainite soles with a Dainite top lift, and then he wants a colored stitching around the bottom of the sole just to give it a little bit of pop of color. All right, so anyways, without further ado, let's get started. All right, so first off, let's get this one-piece rubber heel off of here. We no longer need this, and we're not going to use this any longer. Now the beautiful thing about well-made shoes, and especially with Goodyear welted shoes, is that you have the option to play around with your soles. So like I said, this guy, obviously they were originally leather. He looks like he stuck with the leather and just decided to do half soles at one point. But now he wants to go over to a rubber sole. And you can definitely do that. We get that question a lot from folks asking, hey, I have this type of sole, but I want, rubber, or I have rubber and I want to go with leather. Can I do that? And yeah, with most Goodyear welted shoes, especially, even some Blake Stitch shoes, yes, you can switch over to a different type. So that's always a good thing, again, about buying a nice shoe, is that you can play around with those sole types while you have them. All right, so let's get this off here. Alright, so the one thing about this shoe is, as you can see on this shoe, is it is a double stacked sole. So you have the bottom sole here, which we're just going to ditch, and then you have a midsole here, which is also made of leather. So we're going to take that off. This is in good shape. We'll remove the stitches and sand it down a little bit, and then we will reuse this. And then underneath here, you can see all of the old cork. It needs to completely be redone. Looks like this shank. Yeah, so it has a metal shank here with a little bit of cardboard over it. We will reuse this. So what we'll do now is take out all of this old cork. I'll pull the old stitches out of the shoe here, and then we'll get back to resoling it. So let's get started taking this old stuff out. I know I've mentioned this in one of our videos before, but one of the things you definitely want to make sure of when you take your shoes to another shoe cobbler is that if they are doing a resole on your shoes, double check and make sure that they're changing out the old cork in this shoe. I've seen shops before that will simply leave it the way it is, half the cork is missing, and then they'll go back and resole the shoe. So just one little thing to keep in mind when you take your shoe somewhere, just, you know, make sure that they're not going the quick route and not replacing the cork. Alright, so just to show you where we're at, I currently have these recorked. I have the metal shanks back in here, and now what we're going to do is I have some new leather that I'm going to use for the midsoles. So I'm going to put these on, then I'm going to stick on the Dainite rubber soles, and then we will stitch those on and go from there. So let's get going. Alright, so we have the shoe stitched. Now we just have to put the heels on. Now, if you saw the very beginning, these are the heel pads that I took off of the shoe originally. You can see that it's just a one-piece rubber heel pad. Now we're chunking those, and what we're going to do is I have to add a little bit of height to this shoe before I can put on these top lifts by Dainite. I can't just stick it on there like that. I mean, I guess I could, but the shoe isn't going to sit correctly. So I'm going to take these really thin stacked leather blocks, and I'm going to add those on and nail those into the shoe, and then I will put the top lift. Okay guys, so we have these Florsheim's resoled with the Dainite soles, and now it is time to make the uppers look good. Now again, these are shell Cordovan, and you have to treat these a little differently than you would with a lot of our other calfskin shoes out there. If you haven't seen our video on how to treat shell Cordovan, I will put that video link up above. Definitely check that out, because I'm going to do a lot of that today, but I'm not going to go into detail due to time purposes. So anyways, check that video out, and let's get started on these uppers. All right, so we are done with these Florsheim Imperials. Again, as you can see from the beginning and after pictures, the originals were long gone. Someone had put a half sole on there and just a solid rubber heel. We took those off. The customer that sent these in to us wanted to go with Dainite soles and Dainite heels. So that's what we did, and he also requested that we add a little pop of color by putting orange stitching on there. So we did that for him as well. I think he has another pair that he sent in to us. We're going to do the same thing, and I think he wants maybe yellow or blue stitching on the bottom, so it'll be fun. Also, as you can see from the beginning, the oils from that shell Cordovan leather had started coming up to the top, so we used the deer bone on those, pushed those oils back down, polished them with some Cordovan cream specific for shell Cordovan, just to put the polish and the color back into it and bring out a little bit of a shine, and I think those look a whole lot better than they did when they first got here. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed it. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we have a whole lot more of these to come your way. Give us one of these just to show us that you like it. And also, guys, we appreciate if you'd share these videos and tell others about us. Until next time, have a great day.